What's going on, team? How we doing out there? I'm ready, of course, to get right back into the swing trade of things. Of course, welcome to Start Swing Trade. Ready to get into the action. Of course, you guys know where you're at. Let's get to the stock market. Let's take a look at some new swings I've opened up on the day. Like always, smash the like if you guys are excited for today's show. We got a lot for you guys. Let's get right to the action. Let's first take a look into the market. What are we seeing right now? Let's get to the SPY. As you guys can see on the 5-minute, we just recovered a downturn here around 2 o'clock, but really quickly, right back above that action. And if you can see now, we're starting to push. As you guys probably saw, what did I call this stream? The Power Hour rally. So it looks like we're starting it a little bit early. Let's see if we can really get this moving, as we did take a little bit of a downturn and then started coming back up. Let's see if we get a downturn or a rally here at the end. One thing that we clearly saw today, the Qs taking their own little rally higher, right? That wasn't really weak like the SPY was earlier in the day. And we can take a look around the market, of course. What kind of stocks are up? What are down? We do got technology up, consumer cyclical up today, basic materials and energy deep into the red. So let's get into first our swing trades, our brand new trades. And then, of course, we'll go to stocks. What moved today? You guys out there, let me know if you guys caught any swing trades out there. And of course, any big moves. Let me know what you guys are seeing moving in the market. Let's get right to my trades today. All right, so I did open up 2 new trades today on the swing trade side of things. And I tried even one in the small account challenge. One was Tesla. This one actually stopped me out on the pullback. Was looking to try to get in this one, and this was on the small account, so didn't have much room to add here. And I wanted to add one more time that might have given me a little ability to pull back through this spot, but it was a really quick pullback through the 169.19 levels. So I got out of that one for very, very tiny loss today on Tesla. Let's talk a little bit more about the ones that are open right now. I got XOM today. And you guys know I've been talking about oil and been specifically talking about XOM. And what did I say? I wanted to see it reject the 111 area. If you guys can see the 50 moving average at 110.97 today, we actually go to a 110.97 right on the dot, rejecting that 111. Wasn't able to get 111, but started sizing into this XOM slowly throughout the day. Now I just want to see it continue, just leak to here. Even if it comes back to the VWAP, it's going to be fine. Just don't want to see it back above, let's say, 110.50s here from here on out. I want to see some leaking. I have this an average at 109.91. So into the green slightly today. And going to go ahead and hold it overnight. We'll see what happens here on ExxonMobil. Also going to be paying attention to WTI, of course, crude overall. The front month to be looking at, do we crack right back down below 72 into the 60s? We came back, of course, in the morning, kind of the 4 a.m., 2 a.m. time. We went all the way up there towards 73, started declining back into the 72s. Now we're just sitting slightly into the 73s. Going to watch this tomorrow, and I'm going to look to see if we can go right back below 71, 70, 69. That's what I'd be looking for in crude overall. Let's find out if it does work out. And of course, I said, you know what? I'm not done with just XOM. I also wanted to look to see if XLE would break down. And of course, we've been looking at this one for a while. I talked about this rejection of this line. When OPEC got it back up there, man, they gave us another opportunity to really get short near the top. I didn't take it there because it just felt like it was just too much risk with OPEC mentions. But now that we've gotten this decline, a nice little bounce, could see it kind of rejecting here, and I can start using kind of levels right above here around, let's say, the 82.66 for my risk right now. Looking for a move back down below this low, 77.87, and really getting back there towards 76. We'll see what happens on this XLE trade. Got this one a little bit later in the day, so it wasn't as early as the XOM, but I have added to it 80.78 is my average right now. You guys can see it's at 80.60 right now. We'll look to see if this can continue going lower. XLE to the short side. I'm turning around on the oil trade, and yes, I'm willing to fight Warren if I have to. We'll find out, team. Smash the like button out there. Let's get to the action. It's good to see you guys out there. Walter, Smoke Tuna, what's up out there, team? Jenny, You got some movers out there? I'll definitely take a look at some of these. Why not? Especially PayPal, Fubo, AMD. Those I definitely saw moving. Good to mention those. Walter, how we doing out there? Grinded out a handful of points, profitable enough to have a tough go at it. Yeah, it's not always easy, right, team? Let's always keep battling out there. It's good to see you, Easy Mike, and some new guys out there. I do see you guys coming in here. Say hello. Let's get to the action. Of course, this is going to be the oil outlook. We'll see what happens on oil trades overall. One thing to note, though, is Oxy was able to bounce back, but look how it fought that today, right back down and to the downside. We'll see what happens there in Oxy. I think this one's also one that's short, but wasn't able to grab it today as it went lower towards the 59. We'll see what happens with the oil names and if we can get some lower action there. Let's go to what was hot and what was not today. Of course, today is going to be one of those shows where I just kick it to you guys also, right? We'll do a little bit more of some ticker time. We'll go throughout the show looking for some new setups. I don't have a guest on today, so we're going to do our best to just continue going with content. If you guys have anything you guys want to look at, like always, you guys can throw it up in the chat. Let's get to some of the action out in the markets right now. Let's go to what was hot today in technology. We'll go sector by sector, taking a look at some industries to find out what's getting hot out there. Let's take a look at technology. Of course, some of the stocks really did get hot and continued their move in this sector. And of course, technology has been pretty strong as of late, right? We can take a look at semiconductors finally getting a little bit of a bounce back after recent pullbacks, right? And I mean, I know that NVIDIA hasn't really pulled back, but some of these were starting to pull back. And today, really good day out of a name like AMD, right? You guys saw that. Nice little pullback at 90, really gave you an opportunity. I was watching it right at kind of on live trading. And we got this little push out there. And I was like, well, when this is coming back, it pushed above here towards the 90.40s. I said, look for maybe a nice little 90 pullback. You got two opportunities here, 90.01. And then to the right of that 5-minute candle, you got an 89.96. Really quickly after that, back towards 90.36 and started pushing back up there towards all the way to 95.50. That would have been not a bad little 5-point trade there for 5.4%. So hope somebody was able to nail that AMD trade and not a bad one. Of course, I saw this one on the gap down. I was looking at it that day. I didn't chase after it today. Part of that was that it's already gone a pretty significant way now. It's already gone about 17% since its earnings. And I think at some point might find a little bit of a pullback. We'll see what happens in AMD. Pretty hell of a good day there in the semiconductors overall. Let's take a look at some other ones, software and application names. These are going higher today, and we can take a look at what is doing well here. One thing to point at, though, is I can kind of see this trend line starting to line up here. So I think keep your eyes on some of these names, right? Because if we can keep climbing the wall of worry here, looks like this can really start kind of pushing towards the upside. Names like CRM stand out to me, right? Look how it's loading up. Looking for another move through 200. Nice little levels right above it, and it keeps kind of stair-stepping its way higher. I'm going to grab this 191 and move it towards that level just because I can clearly see that it's right above it towards the 200. We'll look to see if we can get through that 200 level on Salesforce. All right, let's keep going. There's another one here, SAP. We can take a look at Intuit here. Now, Uber's been strong as of late. That's in the software application. Look how that really has taken off and kind of bunched up 2 days. Boom, right through Wednesday's high of 38.35. And that's looking well as it almost closing towards 39 now at 38.93. We'll see what happens here in Uber and some of the other names. Shop with another big move here. Really going to be kicking myself in Shop because this is a really beautiful move back up there to 65. And it just shows you that this kind of stock has really turned around and really gotten its strength and motor going. With Shop having such a great day, I would really start taking a look at Amazon for maybe even a swing. This is really looking strong, and maybe we can go off of the recent bottoming action off the 103 action here. We're close to 106, so I'll be looking for pullbacks maybe closer to 105, 104 to risk off of Amazon, but it does look like it wants to get going. I'll just keep an eye out to see if we can get back through that 110 where we recently were. All right, let's keep going on this. Definitely good to see you guys out there. Trade Agent, Smoke Tuna, And man, smoked tuna. I don't know if it's just your name or what's going on out there, but I can tell you right now, you got me watching a bunch of wicked tuna. I don't know if it's just, subconscious thing, but I've been watching a bunch of you wicked tuna out there. Then like some blue gold. Blue gold. You get that out there. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is making moves in technology on the day. Overall, really good day there for some of the bigger names too. Let's take a look here. All right, let's go to some of the bigger names. Google having a really nice day, up about 2.15%. Really nice push higher in the 108s. And look at the hourly and daily chart. You can see how now you're kind of lining up. It pulled back into this space, held 105 supports. Now you're really holding 105. Looks like it wants to get towards 110. So you could still have a little bit of room to play this Google up higher. Does look great right now. We'll see if it's able to hold the pattern. Another thing to note is, what do you see here on another big boy, another golden cross? So I've been seeing this one in Apple. I pointed it out way back here, right? We pointed this out on March 23rd, right? And so you guys can see it. The golden crosses have really worked. Look at Microsoft's golden cross. That one happened on March 20th. And those continued to kind of help these stocks get that next lift. We'll be focusing on to see if Amazon can make that turn, right? Look how the 50 is starting to get strong. 200-day going to the downside. If the 50 can catch up to the 200-day, we'll look for another golden cross in Amazon, and that could go higher. What's up with Tesla? Tesla's still a little bit ways from the golden cross, but at least pointing to some of these as you're starting to see them get closer and closer, especially some of the bigger names like Apple and the overall market. In technology, let's keep going in technology. Let's take a look at what else is doing well here. How's solar doing? Did that bounce back? Because, First Solar has been pretty destroyed as of late. You can see today you got a little bit of bounce back, but nothing really big there to kind of focus on. SEDG didn't have the worst report, but that hasn't really moved. So I'm going to keep watch on this one. I'll look to see if we can recover 300, but you got to be careful on a name like SEDG because the turnaround can be very fast and wicked. All right, let's keep going. Let's catch up with the chat out there. What's going on? Smoke tuna. Alexis, how we doing? How is AMD holding up to these levels? Well, there's buyers on the pullback. That's really what I could see there. Is that you could see how on AMD, and I was watching the price action when it came up to that above that 90. You can see how as soon as it came back to that 90, there was kind of buyers waiting there to take this off. And the big thing is just AI, right? Is that this stock had already pulled back a good amount. It pulled back for what? It pulled back for like about 1.5 months. So when the earnings came out, yes, it got a little bit of a discount, came right back down, washed out the support around 83, 81, but really quickly recovered that and now through the 90s. So I think you could see this stair step its way to 100. As long as kind of tech doesn't take a huge turnaround, it's probably going to keep stair stepping its way as you get in buy the dippers on any dip right now. All right, we'll see what else is going on there on AMD. And if it's able to hold that 95 level, of course, it could pull back a little bit. But for right now, it's kind of bunching up here at the top of the range. That's what you want to see if you're a bull. All right, we'll see what else is going on there now. Definitely XOM starting to take a downturn there. So feeling confident in the oil trade and how I went after it. You guys can see they didn't want to see it get back there towards the 110. Want to see it go back towards 109 here. Going to be looking really good for the swing in ExxonMobil. Also, XLE now starting to get deep into the green. Look how this is falling off the tape. Looking good. Let's go, baby. Flex on. Let's go. All right, Christine, how we doing out there? Your presence is kind of like a security blanket. Knowing you are here, what time to find you is the best tool in my pocket. Well, Christine, appreciate the feedback. And really, that's what I try to do, right? I can't tell you guys how to trade. I can only look around to see what's moving, right? Point to where the rotation's going. And I hope that that helps you guys keep up with the market. And if I can make it any easier to trade, well, hey, power to me. And I'll tell you right now, it makes me feel really blessed to be here and have the opportunity to share my analysis with you guys. Smash the like. Let's keep going, team. We'll see what else is starting to drop here. Is it the overall market? You can see a little bit there, a leak in the SPY as we're starting to come down here towards the close. But what's a very important area to watch It's financial services, of course. Look how this is starting to end the day. This is why I was a little bit concerned earlier in the day, because I started seeing Bank of America drop right back off to where we were yesterday or on Friday, right? KRE dropped right back off to where we were Friday. So are we going back to the banking concerns? This is why I'm also keeping up with FAZ. This could be another swing trade opportunity. And as a matter of fact, I've been looking at this trade a little bit too long now. I kind of like this trade here, setting up. The only thing is I have to be a little bit more risk averse. I'm going to have to risk a whole 50 cents here on FAZ if I want to take this shot now. So I got no problem taking this shot, at least for now. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of a starter on FAZ. Just grabbed a little bit there at 21.45, took it off the offer there. We'll see what happens on FAZ. This is a bearish leverage trade, so you got to be a little bit careful on here. I could go after a major bank like GS if I definitely wanted to do that. You guys saw me last week do a really good overnight action trade on GS. So that could be another way to go about it. But this time I want to be a little bit more diversified, have some exposure for some other plays. So I'll go for FAZ and see if we can go higher. All right, let's keep going. That's what it's all about. Change agent SYM strong. I'll take a look at that. In Square, we got you. We'll definitely take a look at some of those and see what else is showing up there. But all right, let's get to the market. Of course, you guys are starting to see a little bit of a pullback. Quickly got bounced there by the VWAP. So my biggest thing is just to see how these banks kind of end the day. If they keep coming down, that's when I do think that we start to see a turnaround. And the banks didn't really get hit hard today, but let's see how kind of like a Pac West did, right? Well, look how this kind of came up in the pre-market. Huge move. It was like a 40% move. And what does it do in the market? It really quickly did a nice 22% back down. So be careful out there going after these smaller regional banks. I know they can seem like a great opportunity, but they could also wipe you out. So that's why I'm staying away from specifically going to the regional trade and more going with something that has a little leverage, but a little bit more exposure than just to one play. We'll see what happens with that FAZ. And if I can get it moving. Of course, FAZ does have more of the bigger banks too. So if I wanted to go for smaller names, it'd probably be the KRE, but I'm not going to go after that. I'm going to be on the FAZ. Let's keep going. We got out of technology. Let's go to consumer cyclical. Of course, these are higher beta names. As the market goes higher and fast, well, consumer cyclicals go up fast, right? When the market comes down fast, these also come down fast. So we need to keep an eye on these because they could turn around in a hurry. But there are some of these, they're doing well. One that I talked about this morning, let's take a look at Marriott. Marriott is actually ranked number 1 on Zacks.com. We talked about that with Tracy Ryneck this morning, of course, from Zacks. Prep. Just wanted to make sure I got her name right. But Marriott is very important to kind of catch here as it's starting to reload after a recent pop above 180. This actually looks pretty good here. This is where I start kicking myself a little bit for missing out on plays, not maybe in the consumer cyclical, in the industrials with the airlines, but Marriott looks good here. Why not take a look at Hilton also setting up for a 150 move, right? Well, you guys can see here how this has kind of been holding pullbacks, deeper time frame pullbacks, now starting to push back up, right? Can this get back up there and make its way towards 153, 160 above? Doesn't look too bad here for Hilton. I don't know how you guys feel about traveling overall, but I can tell you one thing. The kind of the hotel prices and things like that, those aren't going down. And it looks like we're still finding demand somehow to travel. So maybe this can make that move to 150 and move higher on Hilton. Marriott looking good there. We'll look at also like maybe like a Hyatt hotels. Can that make a move back towards 120? And one thing that is important is that it's not just one chart looking well. It's multiple charts in the industry. What does this show me? Well, this shows me that at the end of the day that the industry overall wants to move higher. Now, the only question is, will the overall market have that support to give it that move, right? Because we are keeping watch on the regional bank concerns. But we'll see what happens there in lodging. We've also talked a lot about footwear and accessories as of late. We've talked about Nike's pullback to the trend line, right? Well, you guys can see how that kind of keeps holding up here. This doesn't look too bad at all. This is this trend line that we were talking about. And we've talked about this since when? When did we create this? We created this Originally on January 31st, we expanded it through here now towards, of course, May 3rd. And now we've just been kind of watching Nike stair step its way here. If we can have another kind of bullish day in the market, push higher, I think this could get through the 128s, through the 130s, and maybe take the next step forward. Of course, also keep watch on the bigger names like Dak. That just keeps going, a complete monster. And of course, On has been another great stock to watch for the continued run in footwear. We'll see what happens on these, even if they can continue making a move. Of course, we've seen how leisure stocks have started to make a move. I talked about Royal Caribbean last week, and look how Royal Caribbean just take off, team. So this is why I think it's still an opportunity to maybe get CCL. And look at that. We talked about this last week, how this was still near pandemic pricing. Look how this has really started to take off now through the 10s. I actually really like this one. I think this is a big miss by me at the $10 spot. So I'm going to be looking for this one to pull back the next couple of days. What do? I use a little fib retracement tool, kind of do the overall big move here. And it's been from around like kind of 928 to that kind of 1060 highs right there. I'm going to look for about 50% retrace, something back down towards 10 or slightly below 10 to maybe get a shot there for Carnival. We'll see what happens there. I'm even going to set an alert here for a 10 alert price to let me know if I see Carnival right back down there. We'll see what happens there in some leisure play. Of course, there's some other plays in consumer cyclicals that you guys can keep watch to see what happens here. Auto and truck dealerships, maybe it's kind of like a Tesla. We've seen how CarMax has reacted, right? Since their earnings, they've kind of went sideways now and now look to take a next step from that earnings. So, of course, that earnings high was right over here, the high being 73.57. Let's see if we can get through that level and take the next step up in CarMax, as this one doesn't look too bad as it starts to make a little bit of a move higher. Penske Automotive trying to make a little bit of a push. It looks like these auto trucks and dealerships don't look like they want to turn around right now. If anything, they look like they want to get going here. So I'll set alert there for PAG. This is not something that I look at all the time, but definitely it looks like a lot of these are starting to load up. And when I start seeing a lot of charts loading up or looking really nice, I want to keep watch on the industry, because you never know when you can catch one that you weren't really looking at. But since you caught the industry, you can just catch, okay, so I've seen AN pretty strong. Next thing you know, tomorrow I see AN up there towards 138, 139. Well, I can take a look at the KMX to see how that's starting to work. That's what I call leader laggard style of trading, relationship trading, and looking for that action. We'll see what happens there in the auto and truck dealerships. Of course, cars.com, another one, but this one's not as strong. We'll see what happens on names like this. And there's a bunch of names, but just be careful there. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is being called out in the chat. I know there's a lot of stocks to call out there. What about China stocks, says Pittsburgh? I got you, man. We could talk a little bit about China stocks. I got a couple more kind of sectors to go through, but I will take some time in between for you guys. So let me roll up a little bit. Let me get through some of those stocks that you guys were talking about. Then we'll keep going with the next sector, which is going to be financial services. And we'll keep working down, team. We can take a look all throughout the market today. Look underneath the hood and see what we might find there. All right, let's keep going there, team. Let's see what else is being talked about. Moved my stock to AMD to 94, in at 82.80 last week. Jenny with the kill on AMD. Shout out to you, Jenny. I'll actually pull some of the stocks that you were talking about. Let's go to PayPal first. PayPal actually getting a lift after pullback and sideways action for what now? Like it looks like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, almost 3 months sideways action there. So PayPal just waking up, I think, a little bit, right? Because let's just be honest. What I do is when I see sideways action like this, let's go to the weekly chart. So the weekly chart, you can have this longer trend line just drawn out, looking for the move right back through 80. One thing that I can tell you right now, it seems to me like there's some big buying of PayPal going on below the 75s right now. Couple of weeks we've been down below that and we recover 75 consistently, right? And I think that this is very important. So maybe there's some good buying going on here between 74s and 73. I think this is something to watch out for. right? So the next move really is a move through 77. So if PayPal can make its way through kind of 77, I think it's going to be definitely looking great. So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting an alert kind of like at 68.70s to just let me know as PayPal starts making that move, if it wants to go ahead and really start pushing towards that 80. This is actually one that, at least technically wise, I look like it really could be finding that underhand supply, a lot of demand down there. And let's see if it starts pushing towards the 80s. Of course, I saw Square today actually pulling back, and that could actually be a good thing for PayPal, right? A weaker Square pullback towards, let's say, 51.50 gets right back down to support, and then maybe find some buyers and you start seeing Square turn around. It hasn't been the best trade as of late and definitely pulling back, but PayPal looks like it's getting ready at least to make another up move. So I keep both of them on my radar. All right, Fubo, of course, reported earnings just last week. Doesn't look too bad. Having another day where it kind of made a nice little up move. Of course, I'd be looking for pullbacks to recent action. That's going to be a move towards 160, but for right now, it's up there towards 184. This one could make a move there towards, let's say, $2. $2 seems like it could be in reach, but after that, I don't think it's going to have much more. We'll have to just wait and see what happens here on Fubo TV. All right, AMD, I've talked about it, so I'm going to keep rolling through. Let me catch another one in the chat to see what else you guys are talking about. TSN. Do you think it's a good take for long term at this level at 52-week lows? Let's just take a look at TSN, right? It's down there towards $50 today. Definitely a disaster stock of the day. Now, of course, in the long-term account, maybe you're thinking about it, right? Because you're like, well, I mean, this stock definitely got a discount. But one of the things that is very important is, why did this stock get hit today? Well, it got hit today because there was just surprise results in the earnings, right? They lost 4 cents when they were supposed to make 80 cents. Something's going wrong here, right? Well, you need to do the look underneath the hood to find out if they're ever going to meet the revenue outlook. They gave an outlook that was prior at 55 billion to 57 billion, and now is down to 53 billion and 54 billion. This is very important to catch. Of course, we'll see what happens on Tyson after a miss and a miss, getting beat, bad guidance. So I think take a look to see, is it affecting other areas in, of course, their space, right? I think that this is the important thing to look at, right? I mean, when you take a look at TSN, you just want to be looking, okay, are other farm products getting hit today? Well, ADM, look how Archer Daniel Midland is ending here. This doesn't look good at all there for ADM. This looks like it's about to cut down through the 75. So I would want to see how it affects the other stocks first before I'm just jumping in blindly to TSN, because this could unveil some more issues for some other stocks moving forward, right? So we'll see what happens there. I'm staying away from TSN right now, but like always, you can choose your own smoked tuna. All right, let's keep it going. Let's see what else is talking about out there. Qualcomm, says Raz. I'll take a look there. Qualcomm, of course, they reported their earnings. They're bouncing back a little bit. And of course, if we keep buying back these reports, maybe Qualcomm can make a move back towards 113. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is being talked about in the chat. How we doing? Hyatt, same pattern. Yes, we'll keep watch on some of these hotel stocks, of course. PayPal has been definitely one that kind of take a look at. What is PayPal grouped with? I looked at like crypto names. I look at payment. But really, I think Square is one of the best kind of hand-to-hand relationships to keep an eye on. How about that AMR, says Hammer Saul. Let's take a look. AMR, right? Well, AMR coming right back up. The coal play, baby. So coal play is coming back here immediately, back to the upside. I'll see what happens on BTU if that could ever wake up. But definitely AMR seems like it's the best breed right now in coal. And I also like a CEIX. So maybe keep your eyes on this one. This one has been making its way back, right? It kind of pushed through this trend line, held the pullback, now could make a next step back up. I'll keep a watch on this. Doesn't look too bad. CEIX, let's see if it gets back through 65 the next couple of days. AMR, really nice move though. Nice catch, Hammer. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is being brought out there. Tyson, they killed all the chickens. Yes, they left them for dead. It was a straight chicken run out there. But let's keep going. What else is being talked about? Back. Back is interesting. Of course, this is a situation with Brazil's petrochemical producer, Braskem, and they're saying that I saw that this morning there was no received notion for a proposal regarding sales, yet there was halted pending news. And you can see today that came kind of right back down here and right out the open, right before the open, just washed out right back down. So is the rumors true? Is it not? I mean, maybe you're risking off of this $10 spot now that you recovered it, and at least you can know you're out, but you got to be careful here with dealing with something that is going to be so binary, right? It either is getting that sale and could get the pop, or it isn't and could get the drop, right? So it's just really binary trading here. I don't know which way it's going to go. And like always, if I knew, I'd probably take the shot, right? Right now, I have no edge. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is being talked about. I just heard about those chicken farm fires. Man, that sucks. I'll tell you what, don't let my dog out there in those chicken farms. It'd be just as bad, but we ain't going to talk about that. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is being brought out there. No kidding, 20 years ago, bought a package of Tyson whole cut up chicken. Dang head was, oh, good Lord. Yeah, let's just say they're not always the best packaging. Let's keep going. Let's get back to the market. How are we doing on the SPY here right now? Let's take a little bit of a peek in. Looks like we're just hanging out at the VWAP. Will we take another leg lower? A lot of that, to me, depends more on the banks. That's why I go back to Bank of America. That's why I've had this line drawn in the sand for a long time. I've actually drawn this line since March 15th, updated it on April 5th. But think about it. March 15th, we're almost 2 months down the line. I've been looking at this line to see if Bank of America is going to break it. It's right on it, right? We broke it just last week. It looks like we're going right back to it. FAZ doesn't look too bad. Of course, I took a little bit of a shot here earlier on this, and it did start to pop. It got up there on a little bit of a pop at 210 to 2165. So let's see if this could take off. Just got a little bit of a starter at 2145, and we'll see how the day ends off. All right, let's keep going. Financial services, definitely going to be an area to watch. We've talked a little bit about that. Definitely one of the ones that I'm also looking at is like Citicorp. Look how this turned around here. It looked like it was having a nice bullish day, and now looks like it wants to cut right back down. So we'll see what happens if any bank concerns keep roaring their ugly head. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at what else is being called out there. Of course, PayPal is in financial, so you just got to be careful there if you really start to see credit services take a hit. But that's a little bit of a different space there, right? Just keep an eye on what happens. All right, out of financial services, defensive names have started to take a little bit of a pullback. I mean, these have been strong as of late, but we'll see if these can keep pushing, right? We've been taking a look at like Estee Lauder. That turned around a little bit today. That couldn't stay strong. Colgate-Palmolive. Looks like it's loading up for another move. So we'll see if some of these value names can continue to push. What about PG? PG's been just hanging out up here around the 155. Will it go into the down gap zone, or will it make the move right back higher? That's one thing to keep in mind. We'll see what happens on this if it wants to take that next step up towards the 160. All right, we'll see what happens to defensive names. It's different sector that I don't think we need to kind of keep too much of a watch on. One stock that I wanted to take a look at today, I talked about it on pre-market prep, is CELH. This looked to me like it wanted to get going today, and it looks strong. It looks like it's getting the pullback buys. You can see here from the 1 hour trend, nice little pullback buy to yesterday's or the prior kind of week's price points. And you can see here from the first and the second, there was some resistance there. It started using that as support on Friday. Today came right back to that support, bounced right off of that. So not bad levels there to watch on Celsius Holdings. We'll see if that can make a move. Of course, Monster's been making a monster move, right? So maybe Celsius can get really moving as these energy drinks move higher. Pepsi has been a strong one too, right? Look at that, up to 193. Can we get this all the way to 200? Nice little pullback day where it just caught a little bit of a pullback. Let's see if it takes the next step up higher through Friday's 94.49. All right, let's keep going. That's why I invest. That's what you get, Whippa. You're here to make the money. Let's go. All right, monster, baby. Let's go, Carson. All right, no, but definitely, I think keep an eye on these. I think it is definitely something to watch. Monster's move just tells me that CELH can really start going. So we'll see what happens to some of these beverage and soft drinks. All right, let's keep going. Let's get out of defensive names. Real estate, I don't talk too much about. Utilities, this might go a little bit higher. This looked to me like it was starting to set up, but it's not really something that I take too often. Maybe the XLU, maybe I can just day trade this or swing trade this and ride it up slowly. I can play names here, but it's such a slow play. Sometimes it just seems like there's some more opportunities. But XEL, like look at this opportunity. This doesn't look too bad for me. Nice little daily chart, nice little pullback here. Came into the gap zone, comes right back, fills this, now pulled back. Let's see if this can get moving above 70s and start making its way back to 72. Of course, it's a smaller play, but hey, not too bad. XL Energy, are these going to push a little bit higher? XLU maybe pushes by 70.21. You could also look at maybe Duke to make a move back through 100, right? Look at that resistance. Resistance is resistance till it's broken, right? We'll see if this gets broken. 99.80s, 97 below. Can this get the move towards 100 and start to push a little bit higher there on Duke? Before it was at 105.50 at the beginning of the year. All right, let's keep going. What else is being talked about out there? What's up out there? WTAI. Ooh, AI stocks. Reddit stocks are good. Which ones do you like? Just invested in Litecoin. Lots of money to be made there. Just launched crypto mining. Woof. Well, who knows, man? I mean, I wish you the best, at least for crypto. And I hope Litecoin keeps going up. I won't be mad if coins go up. And I don't have that much exposure, but hey, to each his own, right? Let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is making moves. Utilities. We got out of utilities. We're in healthcare now. This has been a little bit of a pullback in healthcare. So just be careful on those names. But look at Lilly. It doesn't stop. And some of these look like they don't want to stop. Merck wants that a little bit higher. Even Pfizer looks like it wants to turn around a little bit. Let me take a look at Johnson & Johnson, because Johnson & Johnson's an interesting one. Doesn't look like it wants to go to the down gap. So I think it could get just one day where it has a really nice, strong move back to the upside, 165. I'm going to keep this one on radar to see if I can get it back to 163 tomorrow. If we could have a good day in the drug manufacturer names, see this Johnson & Johnson just catch a bid back to 165. This doesn't look too bad there on Johnson & Johnson. Of course, I've been watching the drug manufacturers and kind of the healthcare stocks by looking at my sector outlook. You can look at the XLV for that. XLV also looks like a nice little pullback opportunity. So maybe I just go for the ETF overall. Maybe I say, no, I don't want to have one specific drug manufacturer exposure, but I've had a nice little pullbacks in the XLV. And then now, can this really get going towards the upside through the 135? This actually looks pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. So I'll keep this one on radar too. I'll be looking through it towards 134 tomorrow. And we'll see if we can get the next move higher in the healthcare names. All right. So industrials after that, you got, of course, your airlines that I've been looking at. AAL is one that I was in back down below towards the 13s. It's already there to 1450s. I did see that there was a mention out there. It looks like JP Morgan is seeing American Airlines surging more than 100%. They see the valuation is too good to pass up right now. So they see the big three airlines as probably the best three to get: American, Delta, United. And so I think this is an actual pretty cool trade that we can do. Maybe we can separate into all three of them. We get a little bit of AAL. We get a little bit of UAL. We get a little bit of Delta. And we look for all three. Another way to go about this is the Jets ETF, right? Maybe you're going about it that way. That even has some exposure to Boeing. I think that's pretty interesting, right? To at least get a little bit of exposure outside of that. But this is interesting too, the US Global Jets ETF. And who knows, maybe we could go for just the all three basket with American and the UAL Delta trade. This is something to keep on watch. All right, there's some other areas here that we can watch for, but let's take a look how I wanted to see how like GE is doing. Is GE turning around? No, it just doesn't want to stop. This has been one of the best trades of the year. And I've been watching this the whole time and just blown away by GE's move. This has been a 52% move higher for the year and one of the best stocks for the year, General Electric. Of course, let's take a look there. I was looking at Honeywell to see if that was going to get moving back above 200. This one hasn't made a move up, but we'll keep an eye on it. Boeing, how's that doing? I know that got a good order. That's on the pullback. I feel like it just can't get back above 200, and we could see this start coming back down. How's Deere doing? Is that still on the decline? Yeah, this looks like it wants just another leg lower. I would stay away from these names, but we'll see if they can turn around. Caterpillar and Deere. Like always, you guys take everything I say with a couple grain of salt. You guys make your own investment decision, and we'll see what else is going on in the market right now. Are we getting a little bit of a power hour rally? No, it was a pullback at early 3, bounced off the VWAP, now right back up there towards the 413. Let's go to the Bank of America chart. You can see how that's starting to recover a little bit here. Will we break through these lows tomorrow? I'll just have to keep an eye on it. FAZ not really doing much there, just hanging out at the 343 time. And it did make a move to 2150 as of late, but nothing higher yet. We'll see what happens here towards the close. All right, my blood pressure can't take any more salt. Well, don't worry. Just give it a little rub. No worries. Nah, just shake it off, man. No worries. My biggest thing is I'm never 100%. And I think that no one is 100% when they talk about the market. So it's very important to always take whatever I'm saying with some kind of perspective into what you need to do to research that stock. Let's say if I want to take a trade in tech, right? I'm not just going to automatically assume that Mitch knows everything. I'm going to do my research to know that this is the play that I want to play. Like always, find what you're looking at, find where the rotation's going, and stick to your system, because of course that's what's going to give you the repeatable process. All right, let's keep going. And no worries, a little blood pressure, it's trading, right? You're going to get that blood pressure up anyways. Might as well take a little bit of salt. You know, a little bit of salt on the margarita. Can't go wrong. All right, seeing Duke rise up here towards the end. I just talked about this trade, right? The XEL trade. Duke, look at that. Nice little pop right now. Already starting to turn around here towards the close. So looks like some swing traders maybe taking some shots there in the utility names. Let's take a look here. Industrials. We already talked about some of these. Basic materials. Will these start to come back, right? Copper having a decent day, but on a big pullback. We'll look to see if this can really get moving. This has really started to turn around and just doesn't look good here for copper. I would leave this alone. Aluminum, kind of a similar story. I just don't see strength there. When I look at coal, maybe this bounced a little bit today. That we took a look at. AMR, that could keep pushing a little bit higher. And the gold trade. The gold trade's kind of just stuck in the middle, right? It's not doing much here. I would definitely keep an eye on it, but it's already gone a pretty long way, right? We'll just have to keep an eye on it. It's kind of one of those stair steps type of trade that you just have to keep watching. Silver doing very similar, not really doing much as of late, just kind of going sideways. We'll look to see if it pulls back. Industrial metals and minerals, or chemicals like lithium names, those have been trying to hang in there. Lithium of America is having a good little bounce back day today. SQM having a nice little bounce back day today. ALB pushing back there. Of course, when Tesla does well, it seems like the lithium names do well, and Tesla is in the green today. So we'll look to see if these lithium names can continue pushing higher. LTHM is one that I'd keep on watch. This one has a tendency of holding $20 pretty well. So I would watch that $20 spot as a nice little area where people were buying. And let's see if we can make a move to 30 on LTHM, Lavin Corporation. All right, catching up out there. Yeah, I almost bought the bottom when I started rounding on that one. It's a tough chart. All right, MPW. MPW, that's the one you were talking about. That one's a pretty tough one on healthcare facilities, as that one is definitely coming back down. All right, let's keep going. Mitch, deck more than double in a year. Yeah, I mean, deck's just, it's one of those stocks that you look back and you're just like, why don't I have exposure to that? It's like, come on, man. But yeah, I mean, you can look at it, and there's a lot of stocks like this, right? Like, let's say a Chipotle, right? I mean, just look at this. It just keeps winning. It just keeps winning, team. And I think that we need to be finding names like this to add to what our investment portfolio. Because if we can add stocks like this to our investment portfolio, then yeah, we can take some shots on some names. All right, catching up in the chat. What's going on out there, guys? Money Mitch, CrowdStrike. Yeah, let's go to those names today. Zscaler getting all the kind of the cybersecurity names moving today. Let's take a look at some of these. Zscaler, big move up there towards 110. Let's go to PanW. PanW making a nice little lift higher. And this is very simple, guys. Like someone gives preliminary results that really push it higher. Next thing you know, the industry's looking like there's some more spending in the industries. And then, of course, estimates start looking a lot easier to attain, right? Like Palo Alto, like CrowdStrike, right? Like Snow today. And look at Snow ending here. It didn't really have a major day, but it had a nice little pop right before the open. And look, or right at the open, it actually went to 163.18. And look how it's starting to recover right now. If I really wanted to, I could swing this right now for like $1 or $2. I think I could get it up there towards the 163. It really doesn't look too bad off the 160 here, but it's going to be kind of more of a trade that I'm going to need to stick with. I don't want to leave you guys, but definitely it doesn't look too bad there on Snow. We'll find out if it gets there towards the 162. This one actually looks pretty decent here at the start and the end of the day. CrowdStrike looks interesting. Look how that one really nice little move back up to the upside. We'll see if it gets there towards the 140. All right, let's keep going. Nice market neutral pair trade. Yeah, it's something to think about, right? We'll see what else is going on out there. Are they going to split it? Which one? What are we talking about? Which one you guys are talking about for the split? All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on. Halt this puppy. What you guys looking at, man? All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is being talked about there. SPY overall now trying to get back to the 413s. Let's see if it gets to that level. It's about 350. We got about 5 minutes left here. I'll probably leave you guys a little bit early. I've been pumping through the show, giving you guys a lot of stocks to take a look at, opportunities. Let's take a look at how some of my swing trades are doing right now towards the end of the day. XLE went down there to 80.25. Of course, we got this one, 80.78. This looks really great for me, especially ending the day down here, pretty relatively weak and looking like it wants to go lower. So the oil trade, I'm feeling very confident about. Glad that I took the XOM and didn't like kind of overreact, right? I missed a move higher to get it short really close to 111, but that didn't mean that I couldn't take the trade. It meant that I came in it a lot slower than I normally would go about it, right? So I came in slow, added, and now feeling confident about my 109.91. All right, we'll see what else on this XOM, if it can go lower and we really get these like oil names just to break down. Chevron going lower. These look great. I'm going to keep watching the oil breakdown. And of course, if oil breaks down, that's good outlook here overall, but we'll find out. And of course, CPI on Wednesday, that's what it's going to be all about. So definitely CPI. Be careful of what happens Tuesday night going into Wednesday, because of course, we're going to get CPI to be reported at 8:30. And you know how that happens, right? CPI comes in and everything shakes up. So just be careful there. By Wednesday, we could see some crazy flips. So tomorrow, going into the close, just be careful there and always keep it in mind that the CPI is right around the corner. All right, definitely smash the like. Appreciate it. Smoke tuna. Definitely going to go get a little bit of maybe some beer action. Going to go watch the Miami Heat destroy the Knicks again. Yes, I said it. Go Miami Heat. Go Jimmy Butler. You know what to do, Butler. Just do what we do here in Miami. Stay tough. Fight them hard there in Miami. Let's see if we can go ahead and take a nice lead in that kind of competition right now, the series. We got a nice one right now already, 2-1. Let's see if we can get it up 3-1. PayPal back to opening print. Let's take a look at PayPal. I think this is one to kind of keep an eye out for. We'll see if it goes lower, but I think that you have some nice levels to go off of here, right? You can see kind of that bottoming action, especially on the weekly action, just slightly below. I'd put it here on this kind of little harmy here, like 73s. That's where I feel like a lot of the buying was, 73, 74. So as long as it can hold kind of below towards 73, I think you're still looking decent in the PayPal to try to get a move, but it needs to get moving, right? Look at the volume, right? The volume's declining here. Let's get a nice little pop uplift on this and see if we can get this kind of expansion. Another thing you see here, the average true range just falling off the wagon. And what does that mean? The stock hasn't been moving as much lately. So we want to see that volatility expansion happen with the move to show us that we're getting that kind of push higher towards the 80s. We'll find out what happens there. All right, I like royalty plays, says Hammer. We'll see what happens out there. Definitely smash the like. Let's keep it going there. Go Miami. I'm with you, Michael. Let's go, baby. Square, let's take a little bit of a peek there. We'll Square get back up there towards the close. You can see here, it's just kind of fighting right now. Doesn't really want to make a move. SPY overall is definitely going to be something to keep an eye out for. FAZ, not a bad little entry here. We took a little bit of a starter there at 21.45. We're going to look to expand on this position tomorrow, but not a bad one going into the close here. 3 positions on. Let's see what happens. Give me the thumbs up if you guys enjoyed today's show. It's about to be 3:55. Hope you guys enjoyed everything that we do for you guys right here on Benzinga. We're going to keep competing, getting to that next level, and of course, bringing some guests on right here to lovely start swing trading. You can't miss it, team. Definitely tomorrow, I might even have a fan favorite. He used to be in the chat often. My man Jeff Dees might be joining us. So you guys smash the like. I hope you guys enjoy everything we do. Check out the book club as we keep pushing more and more into Japanese candlestick charting techniques. We had another great show on Sunday. Don't want you guys to miss out because we're going to be getting into a new book soon enough. We have over 500 members on the book club. So if you want to join that, I'll go ahead and throw it up right here. I'm going to wrap it up, team. You guys keep an eye out. Of course, we do have some earnings coming out tonight. You don't want to be missing that. If you don't want to miss that, of course, you guys can go to our Twitter, keep up with our earnings calendar. We put it up on our Twitter at Benzinga, of course. Check that out. Here's the earnings calendar for tonight. Anything else here on the radar that seems good? You guys take a look here. Before the open tomorrow, Under Armour, that will be maybe one to watch. EVgo, I will be looking at that report for sure. Fox, Duke Energy. Duke might want back that 100 tomorrow, but I won't be fighting with the earnings. McKesson, after the bell today, maybe that one gets a nice little push there. Palantir, Devon Energy, PayPal. We'll find out. Lucid Motors. How will the Lucid Dreamers be tomorrow morning? Find out, of course, on pre-market prep. I will be watching the Lucid Motors, see what happens there. You can see there's some action going on right now towards the close. Some people are taking their bet. I know that, hey, at least it's by the bottom of the chart. So at least you know where you're probably risking off of. We'll see what happens there. And Lucid, and of course, catch it all on pre-market prep tomorrow. Hit the like button and definitely hit me up on Twitter. If you guys ever have a question, at MoneyMitchBZ, always here to push us to the next level. See you next time, team.